My name is Carol, and I first noticed that something was not quite right with my memory a few years ago. I thought I must be getting very old. And then I thought, I better go to the doctor. So I did. I went to the doctor and was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. I could not believe it was happening to me, not me. I'd always been able to memorize and to speak off the cuff and to do for others. The world then changed for me. I went to the doctor, I got medication, but it did not take away the Alzheimer's disease. Then I thought, dear Lord, please help me. You see, I am a Christian, and God has always helped me with my journey. My husband died when my girls were 7 and 9, and I had to raise them on my own. I became one of the first special ed teachers in Syracuse. Even in my bad days, I say, get to work, Carol. Trust the Lord and go ahead with life. And I have. So I focus on what you have, focus on what you have not. Sorry. Focus on what you have, not on what you have not. And I've always done that. I am forever grateful for the support that I have gotten from my wonderful children, Liz and Sharon, here with me. And as we walk along alone and this glorious route and see nature's beauty all around us, please remember that you are walking for me. You are walking not just for me, you're walking for the 45,000 people in central New York living with the disease, and also with the 5.4 million Americans like me who have been diagnosed with this disease. Please, thank you for so much for your support and for raising money to help find a cure for Alzheimer's disease. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carol. As many of us know, Alzheimer's doesn't only affect the person with the disease, the lives of entire families can be altered with the diagnosis. Each person connected to somebody with Alzheimer's has his or her own personal reason for walking to end Alzheimer's. As you just heard, Carol Clancy was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. She is here today to show that while the road ahead of her may be uncertain, right now the disease cannot silence her voice or stop her from walking with all of you. Carol walks to end Alzheimer's for herself and the 5.4 million others with the disease nationwide. Linda Courtwright was the primary caregiver for her father, Art Legrossley. She watched as Alzheimer's took over his life. She cared for him, reaching out to the Kirkpatrick Day program for assistance, and stands with us today as a symbol that there are survivors of Alzheimer's. She walks to end Alzheimer's in her father's memory and in honor of all the families who have lost someone they dearly love. Sally Donaghey cares for her husband, Matt, but she and her family know that caring for Alzheimer's disease is more than a 24-hour-a-day job. It is a journey that requires patience, compassion, and a smile. Today, she walks in the hope that other families are spared the pain of experiencing this devastating disease. When Jill Ellis moved to the Syracuse area, she wanted to do her part to make our area a better place to live. Today, she is an active member of our walk committee and volunteer for the chapter. While she has not been personally affected by Alzheimer's disease, she is committed to the fight. Today, Jill walks in the never-ending hope of a world without Alzheimer's. These 4 people and the symbolic flowers they hold represent this promise that we have come together to fulfill. Promise to honor, to remember, to care, and to fight. These promise flowers represent the diverse reasons we have gathered, and together they will create a dynamic, colorful, and meaningful garden.
Now, many of you have put your hearts and thoughts into your own flowers, and now, if you currently have Alzheimer's disease or dementia, I'd like for you to raise your blue flower over your head and hold it there. If you are walking to end Alzheimer's because you've lost someone you love to the disease, please raise your purple flower and keep it there. If you are walking to end Alzheimer's because you are supporting or caring for someone with Alzheimer's, please raise your yellow flower. And if you are walking to end Alzheimer's because you want to stop the rampant spread of the disease and help as many people as possible here in central New York and across the country, please raise your orange flower. The names, colors, and stories on these promise flowers show that we've all followed our own paths to get here this morning. You'll hand these flowers to a volunteer as you leave the park for our post-walk celebration. Today, we will walk the same path together in order to remember those we've lost and help those fighting the disease today and in the future. And together, we will reclaim the future for millions, one step at a time. So